Graves is one of the most consistent and broken junglers in the game. His fast clears and strong 1v1 make him one of the most consistent champions in both pro play and solo queue. There are many different ways to build Graves. You can go full crit or full bruiser, but any fed Graves is going to be a strong Graves. Now, just about every single Graves player in high elo across every region is a jungler. From North America to Korea, jungle is undoubtedly Graves' home. But the highest ranking Graves in EU West plays Graves almost exclusively in the mid lane, and he has the exact same build every single game, full damage and full lethality. This is how to play like a challenger. This is BellaCiao. He peaked nearly 1300 LP this season, putting him at rank 6 on the EU West server. He currently fluctuates between the top 30 spots of the EU West ladder. So what made BellaCiao want to play Graves mid? BellaCiao says that he's played jungle before, and that's where he used to play Graves. But he just decided that he didn't want to play Graves like everyone else anymore. A great way to understand his personality is to understand what his name means. BellaCiao is named after a Spanish protest song sung in Madrid in the 1900s. It was primarily sung by female paddy farmers as a protest song against the harsh conditions that the women in Italy faced from their jobs. Over the years, it slowly evolved into a protest song against fascism and tyranny. It was greatly popularized by the show Casa de Papel, a Spanish show about bank robbers. BellaCiao is still sung today as a protest song against fascism and tyranny. And that is who BellaCiao is. He doesn't want to be stuck as a meta slave. He wants to break free from the confines of all the other boring Graves jungle, and to be free playing Graves his way. In the early game, BellaCiao does the exact same thing every single time. He pushes. Graves' auto attack plus his Q allow him to outshove just about every other mid laner in the game. By constantly shoving and pushing in, he always gets priority in the lanes that he plays. This means that his jungler will be able to have an advantage in being able to invade the other jungler easier and to be able to get to scuttle crab fights faster as well. However, the one thing that BellaCiao tends to not do is roam. Other mid laners like Aurelion Sol, who have good early game wave clear, tend to just shove in and run to bot lane to try and get some kills. But BellaCiao rarely ever does this. BellaCiao says that he feels that the risk to reward is often not good enough for roams on Graves. When you roam and don't get anything, you set yourself behind just a little bit. Graves mid is undoubtedly an assassin. But the problem with Graves mid is that he doesn't function like other assassins. While his early game is strong, he doesn't actually have a lot of burst like other assassins do. He has good DPS and a strong laning phase, but it is not oppressive in the way some other assassins can be. Graves is a mid-range assassin that comes online around level 6 when he hits his first item and is able to get his ultimate. He needs to be able to stay ahead so he can snowball and take over the game. If BellaCiao does actually decide to take a roam, it's almost always going to be following his jungler on a roam that is basically guaranteed a kill for him. Even when the enemy mid laners leave to roam to other lanes, BellaCiao does not follow them. Instead, he just continues to shove his lane. This is so that he can guarantee his own lead, along with taking a lot of plates. When there's no one in the mid lane to contest Graves, he's able to get every single one of his pellets to hit the tower. BellaCiao also takes Demolish every game to be able to punish his enemy laners for roaming so much. The way he gets his lead in the laning phase is often not exciting or flashy, it's just consistent and annoying. In order to apply pressure into other lanes, BellaCiao always takes TP in his games. While Ignite is a staple among other assassins, when it comes to Graves mid, the all-ins that occur usually end up in the same way. Graves either one-taps someone with his full combo, or the enemy dodges and he misses his combo. BellaCiao says he used to take Ignite, but he feels that TP is far superior because he's able to apply more pressure to other lanes like bot. TPing and getting a flank is often much more effective on Graves than having to roam down from mid lane. Graves doesn't have any hard CC, so he relies completely on his combo to be able to get a kill. In the mid lane, Graves doesn't need extra damage to be able to kill his opponent. Often he doesn't even need his ultimate. As long as there are no minions in the lane and Graves is able to hit every single one of his pellets, he's able to take down just about any other mid laner. Here's the standard combo that BellaCiao uses for maximum DPS. Flash, auto attack, E, auto attack, smokescreen, Q, auto attack, and then followed up with ult. This combo is how you deal the maximum amount of DPS for this champion. Graves might be a ranged champion, but if you want to play Graves mid, you have to play him like a melee champion. If you hit every single pellet on Graves, it can deal up to 200% of his AD. While Graves is often hated because his quick draw gives him so much free armor, BellaCiao does not care to play Graves like a tanky bruiser. He only goes for one-shots on Graves. And the only way you can do that is by being very close in order to be able to hit every single pellet on your passive. If you hit just 2 auto attacks with every single one of your pellets, you're dealing anywhere between 300 to 400% of your base AD. For your standard laning combo, W, Q, auto, E, auto. You want to use your smokescreen first before you use your Q. The slow and the blind make it much easier to be able to proc the second part of the Q, which is where most of the damage is. Always make sure to auto attack before you E forward to be able to get more pellets and more consistent damage. And if you want your full burst combo, you do the exact same combo, but you add ult at the very end. If the enemy is backed up against the wall, then the one-shot combo comes out even faster, since you don't actually need to use W to slow them, and the Q plus a single auto attack will proc electrocute. In the mid game, Graves plays like any other assassin. Look for flanks, look for picks, and blow up squishy champions. Generally speaking, it's much easier to get these picks in the jungle because champions will often be backed up against walls. Once you've gone in and blown up someone with your full combo, play mid lane Graves like a normal Graves. Kite back and try to survive to deal as much DPS as possible while in that state. Once the laning phase is over, Graves mid always goes to side lane like any other assassin. Look for picks and look for 1v1s against other enemy champions. Make sure to get sweeper lens as early as possible so that you can set up in the enemy jungler and wait for picks when the enemies rotate for objectives such as dragon. Graves mid needs commitment. You might be ranged, but you have to commit to going in. You might get a ton of free armor from your E, but you commit to being in their face. Never forget that though his full combo looks very cool, Graves' main damage always comes from his auto attacks. Just like Revolution, if you want to win, you have to take risks and you have to commit yourself. For your items, start Corrupting Pot for the early mana and sustain. Without Corrupting Pot, you'll go very quickly and you won't be able to shove out the wave. Rush Serrated Dirk as quickly as possible. BellaCiao goes the exact same build every single game, rushing Yumu's into more lethality. BellaCiao consistently does not buy boots in his games because he rarely roams to other lanes anyway. You can use the Yumu's passive to be able to speed yourself to lane a little bit easier. Your next lethality item after Yumu's completely depends on the enemy composition and how fed you are. If you're very ahead, you can go Edge of Night for more safety. If you know you're going to be side laning a lot, you can get Sanguine Blade. Dusk Blade is very good against the team comp with a lot of squishies. If the enemy team comp has a lot of armor, get Last Whisper and finish it into either Lord Dominic's or Mortal Reminder. For your third item, get Black Cleaver for the Armor Shred and CDR. And for your last few items, just continue to buy whatever lethality items you did not purchase in the early game. For your runes, this Electrocute page is the only one that you should be taking. Relentless Hunter makes up for the absence of boots so that he can rotate to objectives a little bit easier. Demolish to be able to take down towers and plates. And Bone Plating to be harder to contest in the early game. Take Attack Speed and Adaptive Force, along with either Armor or MR based on the matchup. For your abilities, max Q, E, then W. All in all, Graves mid is a very unique mid laner. He's a mid-ranged assassin that needs to be in melee range to be able to deal his full damage. He scales better than most other assassins because he can blow up other people from range. And even though Graves mid is not the most popular version of Graves, BellaCiao has proved that he is the highest ranked Graves in EU West. Thanks for watching. Big thank you to BellaCiao for answering my questions in the interview. He wished to remain anonymous for this video, and so we will respect those decisions. You can check out more of my videos at Donghuaplol on YouTube. Hit the notification button to see when new content comes up. You can check out my communities tab for polls on other champions that I'm looking to do in the future. Follow me on Discord and Twitter to see more updates. And any other inquiries can be sent to donghuaplol@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and that's it. Bye.